Walk the campus of NYU's Stern School of Business today, and you'll find that its most famous freshman is nearly invisible. 18-year-old Barron Trump moves between classes in a tight window of time, always shadowed by a Secret Service detail. At 6'9", he is a physical anomaly who uses a famously stoic, unmoving public face to blend into the background. That carefully maintained silence is what makes recently resurfaced video of him so startling. The unscripted footage shows a 14-year-old Barron playing with visible intensity, shouting, sprinting, and aggressively attacking the soccer ball. These clips capture him at an elite level, competing as a midfielder within the DC United Youth Academy pipeline. Seeing this unscripted emotion shatters his guarded political persona, offering a rare window into the first son's actual interests. When an athlete in America reaches nearly 7 feet, there is a massive cultural pressure to pick up a basketball. Donald Trump naturally expected his son to follow that path. Barron pushed back. When the president suggested he'd make a great basketball player, the teenager reportedly insisted, "I like soccer, Dad." This personal preference touches on a long-running friction in American sports, the question of which games belong to the national identity and which are perpetually viewed as outsiders. By choosing soccer over the quintessential American hoop, Barron aligned himself with a sport that spent a century fighting for a place in the domestic mainstream. For decades, soccer in the United States lived on the margins. It lacked the middle-class endorsement that turned baseball and gridiron football into national institutions. Instead, the game was anchored in urban industrial neighborhoods, played on dirt lots by newly arrived ethnic enclaves in cities like Philadelphia and Chicago. Because it was the sport of the urban working class, the mainstream establishment dismissed it as foreign, a game that didn't quite fit the American image. That perception shifted in the 1970s. The arrival of Pelé acted as a catalyst, triggering a massive demographic move as the sport followed the middle class out to the suburbs. This suburban expansion gradually erased the foreign label, building the cultural foundation that allowed a president's son to pursue the sport without a second thought. In the modern era, that transition is complete. For Barron's generation, soccer is simply an ordinary part of the American athletic landscape. Even Donald Trump's skepticism eventually turned to active support. He leveraged his position to talk up his son's skills directly to the FIFA president. The president further boosted Barron's career by introducing him to global icons, including Manchester United legend Wayne Rooney. When a U.S. president uses his influence to court the world's soccer elite for his son, it proves the game has successfully climbed to the highest rungs of the American social ladder. But just as the sport became culturally accessible to him, Barron hit a biological wall that no amount of presidential influence could move. As his brother Eric later observed, Barron's height eventually became a disadvantage. There has effectively never been a successful 6'9" professional soccer player. Modern soccer relies on a low center of gravity to maintain balance during rapid lateral pivots. While extreme height is an advantage in the NBA, it becomes a mechanical liability here. A taller frame suffers from higher rotational inertia and a slower balance recovery time. Barron's competitive trajectory didn't end because of a lack of skill, but because his own genetics made the elite level of the game physically impossible. Today, Barron has moved on from the academy pitch, turning to a highly guarded, low-profile life as a college student. His athletic pursuits have been replaced by more sedentary hobbies, socializing over Discord, playing FIFA, and trading cryptocurrency. Yet that viral soccer footage remains a significant record, the only time the public has seen an unscripted display of emotion from a man who is otherwise impenetrable. While his own body eventually rejected the sport, Barron's choice to play soccer over basketball serves as proof that a game once kept to the margins is now an integrated, ordinary part of the American experience.